But speaking of weird places to be in the franchise, we find ourselves here looking at this Joker origin movie directed by Todd Phillips, starring Joaquin Phoenix. And I don't know how to feel about this. I've tried to get on board because I love Todd Phillips, and I know he'll be able to make this darkly comedic film, very similar to what he did with the Hangover franchise and everything else he's done. I'm a big Todd Phillips fan. But I'm also like, I'm so sick and tired of this will they, won't they in regards to like how DC is planning things, right? Because I view it as the DCEU, and it's not. It's the DCU, apparently. They're trying to like go back and fix everything, as we've seen with like what Wonder Woman is doing by bringing Steve Trevor back. We know that they're trying to fix a couple issues here. But by bringing in two actors at the same time to portray the same character, and one is an origin story and one's in a different timeline, doesn't make a lot of sense to me as just a fan. And it gets kind of annoying. So there's that. And I don't know. Let's see what it says here, though, because apparently it's going to have a smaller budget, which that actually makes me a little bit on the hopeful side, however weird that sounds. Now it says new details regarding the Joker origin movie have surfaced online, revealing that the project has a smaller budget than most comic book movies. The Hollywood Reporter has revealed that the project is looking to begin filming this fall, with Todd Phillips at the helm and a budget of just $55 million. Jared Leto plays the Joker in the DC Extended Universe, but the Phillips project is expected to star Joaquin Phoenix as a clown prince of crime. So yeah, again, there's going to be like the DC Universe or the DCEU, and now they're talking about calling this like DC Black or DC Dark, right? Like they're going to try to splinter off into more of like the I think like the elsewhere stories that maybe might be R-rated, and they might go down that pathway. And again, with Walter Hamada at the head and him having turned, you know, like The Conjuring, which I do think those are PG-13, but I know the Annabelles are rated R. Well, no, those are PG-13. Into, you know, horror film into a billion-dollar franchise. There's clearly going to be a lot there that is, you know, that can be played with. But again, can fans separate the two, and will fans accept the separation if they can? And I don't think that it's going to be as big as they want it to in that regard. I just don't think I just don't think that. Now, Warner Brothers is also looking to tap into Scorsese classics like Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, with the film set in gritty and grounded in 1980s Gotham City. Phillips is attached to direct the standalone piece, which is said to be separate from the DCEU in an effort to create a new and unique storylines to expand the canon. But how can you, okay, see, that annoys me right there. How can you expand the canon when you are separating it from the canon? Right? It'd be like all of a sudden with Star Wars, they're just like, oh yeah, Rogue One, totally not canon. Totally not. No. It ties into A New Hope, but it's not the same universe. That's not the same Leia. That's clearly a CG Leia, not a real Leia. That wasn't Vader at the end there. That was really Darth, you know, Jader, whatever the hell. Like, I don't like that, because when they spend all this time trying to establish a line and a timeline and a world, and fans get into that world, and fans pay money to see that connection, and they like the connectivity, and they like the persistent stuff, and they like all that crap, and then they go, whoa, we need to kind of back away from this and fuck around with it. It causes that division, and it gets pretty damn annoying, actually. So it does say that the Joker origin movie is expected to remain separate from the main cinematic universe. And Warner's has also got a lot of other stuff on the horizon. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, this might be a test to see if it works. And $55 million budget is low for these kind of movies. But then again, Deadpool, which, you know, ultimately is, again, I mean, Deadpool, it might be a better example of what they're maybe trying to do. Deadpool is separate from the main cinematic universe of the Fox X-Men films. Well, Deadpool 2 clearly isn't. I mean, there's direct references. But Deadpool 1 was kind of its own thing with a tangential reference. And then in number 2, they really kind of tied it in. So maybe that's what they're going to do. I don't know. I mean, they basically just wiped away the Wolverine, or Wolverine Origins and that whole thing. Like they retconned that quite a bit. So they could retcon it here. And ultimately they could end up just like, you know, because maybe, just maybe, this is, again, kind of a weird thing. Okay, so hear me out. Jared Leto is playing the Joker in the Suicide Squad timeline. That's what they said. It's a Suicide Squad timeline. And not, you know, so are they trying to establish like 3 timelines here, or a couple, maybe this DC origin one with the Joker will then have Joaquin Phoenix come back and play the Joker against whoever the new Batman is. And that will be its own different timeline, its own different cinematic universe, so to speak. Whereas the Suicide Squad is going its own direction. I mean, I really, honest to God, hope not. I hope they don't do that. But it seems like that's what they might be looking to do. And that is just a bad idea. And I don't think fans are going to put up with it, to be honest with you. I don't think fans are going to accept it. I don't think fans are going to support it. And I think that ultimately the fans are just going to stop watching because they're so used to how Marvel's done it. And I know DC wants to be different than Marvel, but if they, you know, we're 5 years in, 6 years now into, no, 5 years into the cinematic universe for DC, it's a little bit late to go back. It is. It's a little bit late to go back. Their best bet is to just keep going forward. And then, you know, don't make it look like everything fans have invested in for years is not going to be truthful anymore.